Welcome to Floral Fantasia. It's a garden about an acre or so at the Royal Horticultural Society's garden at Hyde Hall in Essex. Breeders from around the world have been sending stuff for us to trial and to put on public show. Let me indicate some of them to you. Let's start with this pretty little Nemesia, a variety called Plums and Custard. It's one of over 60 different Nemesia we've got on trial here, and just a little higher up, Rudbeckia. We had over 80 of those in the Florist Select trial last summer, and now we have 7 more new Rudbeckias, all raised from cuttings. But the workhorse of planting is the Alstroemeria Indian Summer. Boy, that's a fantastic plant. If you just remember to pull out, you really do pull them, the dead heads as the flowers fade, then they just keep coming. This Pittosporum, the variety Silver Ball, hasn't been trimmed. That's just the natural habit of it. A really beautiful plant, and if you're looking for an alternative to box balls because of box blight, then that looks to me to be a very good alternative. We have a number of new varieties of Sunpatians. They come of course from Sakata in Japan. Enormous flowers, and give those another, what shall we say, 6 or 8 weeks, and I think you'll be amazed at the size and the colour of them. You could say the same too for some of these latest kinds of lily. They just get bigger and bigger, the flower size. Sadly, I can't send you the fragrance. I mean, the air is really heavy with their fragrance at present, overshadowing to some extent these new cut flower dianthus from Wetman's. There's 4 of them that are tall enough to cut, like spray carnations. Bridal Star, Red Carpet, and a really beautiful pink which has probably the strongest fragrance of them all. We have 3 or 4 new varieties of catmint, and I can't recommend these enough. This is a variety called Persian Blue, Persian spelt P-U-R-R, and really if you cut these back as the flower heads go, another lot comes immediately and they will repeat flower again and again, and you can see it's a very neat habit, unlike a number of other catmints that get a bit tall and flop. But this Persian Blue is an absolute stunner. And the message here is very much seasonal bedding. We expect whenever the visitors call, any month of the year, that they'll find colour. And just now the dahlias are starting to flower. We have quite a range of salvias, including some quite tall new varieties in the Lake series, roses, and I said that we had 8 new varieties of Rudbeckia. This honey gold is a really beautiful colour, and you can see that it's almost fully double. But as well as these quite wide banks and broad borders, we've got individual beds. I mean, here's a good example. Another new Rudbeckia, Cosmic Eye. The little perennial calendula, Power Daisy in 4 colours. Boy, that's a magnificent plant. Don't need to do anything to it at all. It just sits there and covers the ground. And you'll see pretty well every height and style of dahlia. Jescot Julia, really lovely colour. Good traditional variety. But will do a very good job for us here in the next 6 to 8 weeks. The great garden seat is here for photograph opportunities, and I wish I had as many shillings as times people have sat here and had their photograph taken over the last few weeks and months. In practice, I suppose it's what in modern parlance is called decorating. We just bring together those plants in containers which are pretty colourful and just try and set some sort of picture. And it illustrates some of the new plants that we have here at Floral Fantasia. I mean, there's the new begonia series from Sakata in Japan called Viking in several colours. There's the xerochrysum, the straw flower. The pink one isn't quite as strong growing as the yellow. And the yellow is interesting in that with the open flowers, if it rains, they don't like getting wet, and so they close and stay closed until it dries, and then they open again. We've got a new petunia that we think will grow to 4 or 5 feet tall. We need, obviously, to support that. It needs to grow up into a supporting tripod. We have the Sunbelievable, the new sunflower hybrid. One plant will produce 1,000 flowers given regular watering and a good bit of feeding, but that's the case with many of the modern hybrids, where they grow very strongly, make big plants, flower for a long time. Then you do need to make sure they don't dry out, but every 10 days or so give them a really good feeding. Now, this little demonstration rose bed, just 3 meters by 3 meters, was planted as bare root in February, and here we are now in August, and you can see the second flush on some of the bushes already coming out, and an even better example on the standard. This has had a tremendous show of colour through June and July, and you can see within a week or 10 days it's going to be full of flower again. And the message here is that one planting in February should last between 20 and 30 years, and it will give you colour all the year round, because we've got cyclamen coum underneath and hybrid tulips. And around the edge, may not last 20 years, but we have the catmint that I was talking about, Persian blue, and also Verbena Seabrook's lavender. The two go very well together and are making really good edging. You know, if you want low maintenance, easy gardening, then prepare the soil well and roses will perform for you. This precious series will certainly flower from June to Christmas. Well, I hope we've given you a little bit of a taste of what the garden looks like here the first week in August. But I can tell you, whenever you come, pretty well every week in the year, there'll be something different in flower to see and perhaps to photograph. But can I just send you off with one more glance down yet another of our long borders. Particularly draw your attention to the Echinacea moods. Boy, that's a lovely plant.